The Tangent 8 podcast is aimed at a mature audience. It contains themes that are not appropriate for all listeners. It's important to note that we are not experts. We routinely have no idea what we're talking about and are just three idiots sitting around a table. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to Tangent Podcast. I'm Seth, and as always with me is Swoosh and Jondo.
Hi.
Hello.
And this week we're starting out with a bit more of a continued conversation from something that we did last week while Swoosh was off, dying from the plague.
Yeah, that was
we had a bit of a chat about some of the industry stuff to do with closures and the whatnot, but we were mostly focusing on a few articles we've been reading lately about budgets and staffing pools and how they are getting a little unwieldy.
Yeah.
That's not to be said, we also mentioned that there was going to be probably some more stuff coming out from Microsoft because, everything found a little squeaky. Nothing was quite lining up right. And, seems like that's the case. It's definitely the line must go up mentality is in full swing at Microsoft HQ right now.
It's mentality I never really... I understand it, but I don't like it.
Yeah. I mean, it's the cause of the problem that we were talking about last week, where, studios are getting into these huge situations where games have to be like insane mega blockbusters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's because the line has to go up. If it's not an insane mega blockbuster, the line will go down.
Yeah. It can't plateau, it can't go straight across, it must go up.
Which is, I understand, they want that, sure. But eventually, the line will go down. There is no way to stop it, and the longer you stall it, the worse it's going to be when it finally drops.
Yeah.
We've already seen that people aren't liking AAA anymore because of this kind of shit. It's
I think people still like AAA. It's just that the AAA that they like isn't meeting the quality that they want.
Yeah.
No.
So, if they brought out any of these major games that were what they'd promised them to be, they'd be absolutely fucking amazing. But they're not. People want the game they're promising. They're just not getting what they're promised.
Pretty much.
And then they don't buy it, and then the line goes down, and then the studio gets shuttered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell,
it's the problem with letting marketing into the room too fucking early. Marketing
needs to be kept out until the very end.
The best example of that I know of was from last week because Sarah Bond, who is the Xbox president, went on the Bloomberg Tech Live show. And of course, the inevitable question came up about the closures of Tango and Arcane.
Yeah.
At which point she basically just waffles on for a while about, we've got to do things and there's all these factors and blah, 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 blah. Then the guy doing the camera work did this wonderful thing. And I would like to give my heartfelt thanks to this cameraman because he knew what was up. He took her while she was doing this giant pile of word salad and cut to a wide shot where she's talking about profits and there's the graph above her, Microsoft profits year on year being significantly higher since 2020 and only just taking a minor, and I mean minor dip.
Yeah.
They have not even crashed yet.
Yeah, not even close to crashing. This could be considered a plateau at best.
Yeah. So, maybe don't use talking points about profit in that scenario, especially when the graph is right there.
But that's always their fallback. There's we can't afford it. We can't afford to do it. It's yes, you can. You have posted record profits again this year. You can't say you can't afford something and post record profits. There's no in between.
So the big thing that's been coming out from Microsoft is this idea that they have some kind of central team at Microsoft, and they manage all of the studios. And apparently that team is really thin, and they've got too many studios, so they've got to close some of them, and they can't handle all the people. One, then you should probably hire more people as part of that management team. And I cannot believe I'm saying that because last week I was talking about how maybe you should cut out some of this sort of bullshit.
Yeah.
But if you seriously are at the publisher level and can't handle all the studios, well, then you should look at how to handle all the studios,
Yeah.
not just axe them.
And maybe stop buying studios unless
Yeah.
you have the infrastructure to support them in some way.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
Maybe, I don't know, spin off some of these studios into their own entities.
yeah.
Like,
see,
the
this is
vesture.
the thing-
Like, it helps.
yeah. Well, this is the thing that feels kind of like what used to happen back in the day when studios would eat up studios just for the IPs.
I mean, that
They
fucked
didn't
up.
give a shit about them.
Yeah.
They just wanted to eat the up properties and
Yeah.
keep them.
Yeah.
Or so that you would create a competing product or something like that.
Like, honestly, the big gaming like publishers and that kind of thing act a bit like dragons in the way that they will hoard IP. Like, they will just say,
Yeah.
like, oh, this is mine. Like, are you going to use it? No, why would I use
Yeah.
it?
I want to be known for owning this IP. I just don't actually want to do anything with it.
Yeah.
Because we don't have the staff to be able to produce a game for this IP.
Meanwhile, in the background, they're beating the dead horse or some kind of, like, franchise mascot that's been dead for years, but they will not let die.
Yeah.
Look
Now
at
it's just
Assassin's
a
Creed.
skin suit.
Yeah.
Although Assassin's Creed did the desperation move recently.
I did see that. That's going to be interesting.
They've done the thing that everyone's been asking them to do since game fucking 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're finally doing Japan.
But there's been some pushback on one of the characters, like the one that this the samurai side. Everyone's up in arms about the fact that because it's based on a guy who,
It's a real person. It's a real documented person who existed.
Yeah.
It's the I don't know where he's from originally. He's a black guy.
Yeah. But everyone's saying that he was never a full samurai. It's like, does that really matter? We've
No,
long
he's
since
not meant to be a
departed.
full samurai.
So,
He's a
here's
fucking
the-
assassin.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. That character, the real person, he's documented as being Oda Nobunaga's part of his retinue,
Yeah.
being his bodyguard.
Yeah.
He was granted land, and there was one other big factor. But essentially, it all boils down to he has all of the credentials for is a samurai,
But no one
just
ever gave
no
it.
one wrote it down.
Yeah, no one ever
Yeah.
gave him the official title of it. But the entire internet is screaming about this for some reason. And it was like,
No,
oh, it's
I can-
historical accuracy. It's like, I'm sorry, but Assassin's
I
Creed
can
moved
tell
away
you
from
what it is if you want to know.
it. Yeah, go for it.
It's right-wing chuds.
No, yeah, that makes sense.
They're just annoyed that he's black.
Which
Yeah.
is fucking dumb. Like,
Because no one else cares.
Yeah.
It's just a dude
it's
in a game.
It's a bunch of polygons. I don't care what color said polygons are. I'm gonna play the character.
See, none of that worries me at all. What
Yeah.
worries me about this is that they've said the game world is the size of Assassin's Creed Origins, which means they're going to fill it full of bullshit.
Or it's gonna be empty as fuck like Origins was.
It's going to be empty as fuck.
Yeah.
Well, Origins was better than fucking Valhalla.
Oh
Yeah.
god, that was nothing but water.
They're the two options. It'll be empty like fucking Origins was, or they'll try and pack it in like Valhalla.
Yeah. But like,
And I don't
love-
even remember the map from Odyssey, other than being able to swing off a deck on the island. That was literally it.
That was kind of fun. But it was like, it's one of those weird things that pops up every time these big games appear. It's like, one side's going to get pissy about something. There's no way to
Yeah.
please everyone. We know that.
Yeah.
But I don't get why they make such a big deal out of something so small.
Again, it has nothing to do with that. It's
Yeah.
the fact that he's black.
Yeah.
They're just shitty that he's black.
Reminds me of back when, what was it, The Dark Tower, when that series came out? Was it a series or a movie? I think it was a
There's
movie.
a series of
series.
books. I don't think
Yeah.
it's been made into any movie.
No, it's been made into a movie, at least one movie.
Oh,
It
yeah,
has,
the first one was, yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause it had,
and I'm
um,
pretty certain there was a TV show of it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because I remember, was it Idris Elba? Idris Elba, they got to play the gunslinger.
Roland?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
everyone was up in arms about that. It's like, I don't care. Can he act? Okay, then we're
Can
good.
he portray the role?
There were a few things that would have to be moved around, but there's nothing that's not unwritable there. And I kind of enjoyed that movie. It was campy and stupid.
I mean, that's the Dark Tower.
Yeah.
I don't know what these people are bitching about. Do they just want the characters whitewashed? Do they just want
They want an excuse to bitch
Uh,
is the main
yeah.
thing. Like
That's it.
a
They just
modern-
want an excuse to bitch.
yeah.
they just want a a modern Middle America Assassin's Creed.
Oh
Probably.
God! Imagine
They
Assassin's
probably
Creed
love that.
in like a housing commission or something.
Well, they just want to be able to make themselves, I'm the assassin. Like,
Yeah.
no.
I doubt it's even that. The type of people who get bent out of shape for this sort of stuff, and that's why, very specifically, I didn't want to call out anyone specifically. I'm referring to those fucking full-on right-wing chuds.
Yeah.
They don't need a reason. They don't care.
No.
It's not about them playing the game or that they can't see themselves as the character. It's that he's black, and that's it.
I always found it funny when they try. Oh, I can't see myself as the character. Yes, because the character's wearing armor. You can't actually see the character. Like, it doesn't matter. It will never matter.
Yeah. And if you write a good story, people will be able to connect with the characters, whether they are your race, skin color, or whatever.
Yeah.
Connect to the world they're in. Like, that's all you really need to fucking worry about.
Yeah.
So yeah, like, that's it. That's why people are up in arms about that character in that trailer. That's it.
Yeah.
It's just shitty racist people.
Pretty much. But it's like, I'm happy that they're trying, Japan, because there's some interesting shit in the, mythology for Japan.
Also, side note, that character, that black guy, I wish I could remember his goddamn name.
Yeah, I can't either.
I would really love to be saying his name instead of just that guy.
Yeah.
But I don't know the mythology for his character super well. The actual real life version of him kind of disappeared in the back half of his life.
Yeah.
He's assumed to have been killed along with his master because they were on the wrong side of that rebellion.
Yes. It's assumed, I think he was only with him for about 18 months before he disappeared.
Can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But point is, he
Yasuke?
kind of disappears, so that's him.
Yeah.
Yasuke. Yasuke.
That's the guy.
Yusuke.
Yusuke.
I'm probably pronouncing that horribly, but
Absolutely.
that's how it sounds in my head.
I mean, Tsushima has a T in it for some reason.
Yeah.
But it could have been a lot worse. It could have been Yasake.
Point is, at the end of his career, well, that we know of, he just sort of disappears. He's assumed to have died, but could have disappeared to do something else.
Yeah.
Which actually makes a perfect historical character for this type of fiction
Exactly.
that Assassin's Creed likes to do.
Yeah. Which
So,
I'm okay with.
talking about other people that could be Assassin's Creed characters that just disappeared with no trace of where they went.
Harold Holt.
What if Assassin's Creed Harold Holt? Australia's assassin.
Oh, that'd be great.
Pulls a heap of shit and then disappears.
I do love that we honoured that man who theoretically drowned in the ocean by opening a swimming pool and naming it after him. That is the most Australian fuck you that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But,
So, getting
Yeah.
back on topic. Xbox sucks right now.
they do, absolutely.
And the boss of
Xbox
Arcane was-
management sucks right now.
Yeah, sorry. Well, the big one we don't know is we haven't had anything from Phil Spencer yet.
Yeah.
Not yet.
He has not been on anything live yet to have that question put to him. Although he does have one slated, I think, for next week.
Honestly, I don't know
So-
why these guys keep going on live things. Like, no.
Because they need to.
No.
Yeah.
Why are they going on live things with no clearly prepared response?
Yeah. Like, at least prepare them. I'm assuming, like, these people just get thrown at, like, yeah, you're doing a press junket. Off you go.
But they're the people who do the press junkets.
Yeah.
It's not like we walked into some random office and went, you're going live today. It's the president of Xbox.
Yeah.
She should know how this was going to go down and know that this question was coming. And fuck you, someone didn't have to submit a bunch of questions to get her approval whether she'd answer
Oh,
them or
like,
not.
they always do. Like, they always
So-
send their, questions ahead of time.
If they knew it was coming, why did they not draft a better answer or just tell them no, we're not answering that question?
Yeah.
Like, it's not as though they don't know the drama that's happening. It's
Yeah.
not as though they're like, really? This is happening? Oh my god. Like, you know the kind of shit you're gonna get.
Yeah. Ugh. It's all...
And to kind of heap in on the continuing drama of Xbox, one, there is rumors that further closures are coming, which is making me scared because one of my favorite developers, the guys who made Hellblade, are under Microsoft, and they've got their game coming out at the end of this month. Does that mean start of next month, I'm going to be like, no, they got closed.
I really hope not. Like, they're
So do
great.
I. But
They
there is
really
rumor of
have to
further
like
coming.
spell out what makes a game successful on Game Pass.
Yeah.
Because like Hellblade, like it could go absolute gangbusters on Game Pass, but sell fuck all copies. But if they're only looking at the actual sales of it, like are they
here's
only
the
looking
thing.
at how many new people sign up for Game Pass when a particular game drops, or like eventually
That's the thing.
Game Pass is going to
Game Pass may not even be a factor.
Yeah.
We don't
No,
know.
exactly.
Xbox has not said categorically why any of these studios were closed.
No.
There is some information going around that it had something to do with them requesting additional staff so they could actually work on sequels to those games. Arcane was pitching another Dishonored, and Tango wanted to do Hi-Fi Rush 2. So it seems like they were requesting staff and got smacked down for it, but we don't know. We
Yeah.
don't know if those things did gangbusters on Game Pass and they still got shuttered. It may not even fucking matter.
Yeah. You know what this reminds me of? Remember when Fox used to get like a bunch of really good shows and then put them in shitty time slots and then cancel them
Yeah.
for the sake that, they weren't doing well? It's like, yeah, of course
Yeah.
you cancel Stargate. You put it on at 11 o'clock on a fucking school night. No one's going to watch that.
Yeah.
Like, same kind of feeling, I swear. It's just, they're finding reasons to shutter things despite the fact that there is an audience for it, and in some cases, a rabid audience for it.
Well,
And from
by all
what
takes,
we've heard from-
Hi-Fi Rush was a massive breakout success.
Yeah.
It was fucking lauded. They said this game is fucking brilliant. We love it. When they say, "Oh, we'd like to make a sequel," no, we can't give you anything more. Well, what's the fucking
This is
point?
my point.
Yeah.
We don't know. We don't
No.
know why it was closed, and Microsoft is just not saying.
Yeah. Which is even more sketchy to me.
Yeah.
Like, if it was just
So-
a matter of, like, there were issues with things, tell us what the issues were. Let us know why you got rid of it. Like, technically, they don't have to.
It's like a different studio, the guys making Prison Architect 2,
Yeah.
couldn't resolve a conflict with their publisher, so they walked.
Yeah.
We know what happened there. It puts Prison Architect 2 in a really weird place because, of course, the publisher owns the IP rights and is going to have a finished development with another studio.
Yeah.
But, like, conflicts can happen. Why is Microsoft not saying? Because it's probably something bullshit and they don't want the flack.
Yeah. They don't want to be called out for doing something stupid.
Asking, like, what makes something a success on Game Pass, it may not fucking matter.
Yeah.
Like, we just don't know. The closest thing we have is 2 points of information. Theoretically, supposedly, it had something to do with them requesting more staff, and the line went down.
Yeah. It wouldn't surprise
That's
me
it.
if the line went down and they just had a dartboard up on the wall with a bunch of names and just started throwing fucking darts. Like, who's getting closed this round to make sure the line goes back up?
Maybe. Don't know.
Yeah.
And it seems that, like, even developers are starting to get some issues with Xbox because apparently it's becoming unfeasible to develop for Xbox unless you get a slice of Game Pass.
Yeah.
If they're not going to cut you in onto Game Pass, apparently it's just not fucking worth it. Too much. Unfortunately, and I say this despite the fact that we have pimped Game Pass pretty hard on this show
Oh, we have.
more than once.
Yeah.
They've trained their player base on Xbox to wait for it to show up on Game Pass.
Yeah.
So now it's almost impossible to get Xbox players. Well, not impossible. You know what I mean. To get Xbox players to buy your stuff. You're not getting on Game Pass. You're not making money.
Yeah.
Xbox is in this absolutely weird state where there's low trust from consumers because they're shuttering studios. Studios don't like them because they're getting axed out of nowhere. And the profit model only makes sense if you can get into Game Pass, which apparently is not a guaranteed thing.
I feel like they've painted themselves into a corner and now they're stuck waiting for the paint to dry. Like, they're going to have to wait to see where the chips fall on this one to see how they can
It's
come back.
really weird. It feels like they spun the roulette wheel a couple times and they won. And they got really confident
Yeah.
and then put all the chips into one and now it's not coming up red.
Yeah.
It almost sounds like that meme. You got two buttons. You get this and everything works, but you also get this.
Yes.
You get Game Pass and people really like it, but you also shutter a whole heap of companies, or you shutter a whole heap of companies, or you get this,
Well,
but this also fucks up.
Yeah.
again, we don't know how much Game Pass is
No.
directly related to company shutters.
No.
Only that if you're not on it, it's not worth it.
It's not worth it.
Which
for
is
the,
weird because you
companies,
just
yeah.
like you'd think it would be. Just put my game. I'd like my game on Game Pass. Like, what more do they have to do for it?
Why would you not want more content on
Exactly.
that service?
Yeah, it should be the easiest thing for one of their developers to be put onto that platform.
Yeah, you'd think it'd
It
be
should
the
be like-
developer's choice.
Yeah,
For lack of a better way, they needed to function kind of like Steam.
yeah,
Pay your $200 and then bam, you're on Game Pass. Have a good one, guys.
pretty
Yeah.
much.
I mean, please curate it better than Steam. Steam's not very good at that.
Steam is
Yeah.
kind of failing at that at the moment.
Yeah, but my point simply being it should be very easy, but apparently it's not.
Yeah, which is odd. It just seems very strange for their own product, and their own developers are having problems getting onto their own product. Like there is like at that point you have to look at the
Well-
real management factor of like, why is this failing?
That's not about Xbox's first party stuff. That's going
Yeah.
on Game Pass all the time. This is external studios to Microsoft.
Okay, fair.
They have to get part of their sign up deal to produce something for Xbox needs to include and goes on Game Pass, or it's not worth it.
That is fair. But it's just, I don't like the way that the line must go up on everything. Like, there is nothing wrong with staying at a sustainable level. Like,
Well, you need to have sort of an understanding. The line needs to be able to go up and down a little.
yeah,
Yeah.
not everything.
Because
You
your
need to have
legacy-
a wiggle.
Yeah.
A wiggle, not just.
You want to keep it at kind of a nice plateau where you can keep doing business, but as your legacy fans fall off, it'll go down, and as you find new markets, it'll go up.
Yeah,
But you can't just go up. It has to flatten or go down sometimes.
unfortunately, it's going to take one of these like things falling and collapsing proper before the others take notice, and there's going to be a
Well, I mean, like I said, there's going to be some big questions leveled at Phil Spencer when he does his next
oh yeah.
talk.
That
And-
or they'll softball a bunch of like really shitty, easy questions, and he'll walk away laughing.
I mean, even if they don't do that, then they're going to have to say something at their Summer Games Fest presentation, because
true.
that's slated for second week of June, if I recall.
Yeah,
I know June 7th is Game Fest opening night, and then they're a little bit after that. So I think it's like second week of June we get the Xbox one.
but have you noticed
Back
that
to
game
trailer
developers
season.
are now sounding more and more like politicians, where they don't answer the question; they just throw word salad until they stop out, like
Oh,
asking for more
That's
information.
that's any corporation where you go
Yeah.
above shit kicker.
Pretty much, and it's
You won't get a straight answer above that.
it's dumb. I shouldn't be wrestling with a sphinx to get information on a game,
That's kind of the way it is, though.
but I don't like it.
You know what's dumber, though?
Me.
EA is still trying to double down on AI.
Why? The entire community has essentially just said no, leave it alone.
So they keep talking about how all the people at the company really like this idea and it'll be such a good tool and all that stuff. And then people from inside are going, yeah, no, we all fucking hate that shit.
Yeah, because they can
Only
see
the
what they're trying to
corporate
replace
guys
it.
like it.
Yeah.
It's the next like big buzzword after NFT.
Pretty much everything
it's
is AI
less.
now.
It's less that and more that because these CEOs and manager types see AI as replacing stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or money
We can
saving.
get an AI good enough, we can start making the line go up by just reducing stuff.
Oh god, I that's going to be dystopian future, and that's going to be hilarious.
No, that's going to lead to a collapse.
Yeah.
That will absolutely.
First one to try
And I-
and implement that and get rid of people, they're not going to survive.
EA. Hopefully EA.
I really hope EA crumbles. I hate EA. I don't trust them.
Yeah.
They cannot be trusted in any way, shape, or form. They are run by
like-
actual cartoon villains. Like, I can see them twiddling their mustaches in my mind's eye already.
Just tying your favorite game franchise to the train tracks.
Oh, yeah. If they could,
Yeah,
they
see,
would.
the train will be here soon. Your favorite franchise will be fucked unless you send us all the monies.
And that's if they're just feeling nice and tweedly mustache. If they're having a lazy day, they're just old yellow the studio.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. Take it back and shoot it. Or, make it into a DLC somehow. They'll find a way.
And of course, they need to get their line to go up as well, so, they're looking at putting more ads in your video games.
Ads have no place in video games. We play them to escape ads. Don't want to be
Look,
advertised to.
If
At
there
the
is
same
a
time,
if there is
if
a
you've
product
got-
that's there that matches the story, it's like it's not specifically placed there.
Yeah.
Like, if like say the Last of Us, like it's set in a dystopia after world. If they pick up a Coke can, it's something that would be within that world. But I'm not expecting them to find a Coke can on an alien planet.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, if it matches the fucking world you're in, then it just matches the world. It's just a thing
Weirdly
there.
enough, the only game I could ever see ads appearing in and being suitable to a world in some way would be Helldivers, because it is that kind of weird hellscape future for humanity. Where
Yeah,
it's
but
just like,
even then,
last
like,
year full
if,
That would be
if each
parody
of those
Yeah.
ads don't end with "Would you like to know more?" then
Yeah.
they're shit.
pretty much.
But the biggest problem you run into is that they want to run, like, actual ads.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because they've done it before in one of their fighting games. They actually, between rounds, would run an ad. And they got into so much shit for it.
Look-
And Dan was telling us about how apparently in the current Battlefield, there's some ads for, like, Logitech keyboards and shit.
Yeah.
yeah. Like you're
The
in.
thing is, though...
You're in a desert where fucking buildings are half blown over and blown up, and there's just a desolate wasteland. But there's a perfect billboard for a Logitech G502, fucking whatever it is.
Somehow it's
See, this is
impervious
the
to
problem.
rockets.
Yeah,
companies don't like their products looking damaged or not at the best possible way
Yeah.
in video games. So you can take down this whole building, but for some reason the billboards on it survived completely intact or in this perfect lit shot.
Yeah. Which is... I hate it because
'Cause-
it breaks immersion more than anything for me. Like, if I'm running around, like, say, Fallout, and I see a pristine billboard, that throws me out, because everything's meant to be fucked.
that's.
Like-
I just wanted to face it, so I'm either shooting it or trying to blow it up, or like that's what I'm going to target. I don't care what the fuck's on it. I just want to fuck it up.
And I don't think these companies realize advertising in these places where they're not wanted really, I don't think, sees much of a spike in their
No.
profits. Because honestly, if I see something I can't skip on YouTube, like ad-wise, I'm not buying that product.
Whole video.
Yeah. Like,
Skip your whole video.
pretty
Yeah.
much. I have done that before. It's like, I'm
Yeah.
not going to sit here and watch a 30-second ad
I'll find
for a
something
30-second
else
video.
that doesn't have the ad.
Yeah. Like, there are certain products that I will not buy because they were popping up everywhere on YouTube at one point. It's like, okay, you have now guaranteed that I'm staying away from your product because you have tried to force me to, like, pay attention. And a lot of
And,
gamers
like-
are like that.
I actually think a lot of games could probably get away with some product placement. As you say, Last of Us, have him pick up a Coke bottle and have Joel make that comment that everyone does of, you know, it used to have actual cocaine in it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, that would actually be an organic and natural story because, of course, Ellie would not fucking know that.
Yeah.
well, like even
So-
like, picks it up as like, oh, they once had real sugar. Wonder if it's still good, and then taste it, and even if they spit it out, it's like, but it tastes the same, and then throw it away. Like,
Yeah.
just an interaction with the product to say, hey, look, here's a thing.
Yeah.
But it's something that fits the fucking world.
Or
But
at
they
least
have
fits
to
the
be
narrative.
willing to let the product not necessarily shine.
Yeah.
No, but it as long as the product there, it doesn't need to shine. The product is within the fucking attention span anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's the kind of thing where, like, you know, if you see a Coke bottle, I want to shoot it.
Yeah.
Maybe you're a Pepsi guy. I don't know.
Yeah.
Coke doesn't want you shooting the Coke bottles.
There's a thing I watched the other day. For the Back to the Future movies, the
Yeah.
head of Ford contacted him saying, "Well, we want make Doc Brown drive a Mustang." He goes, "Fuck no, he drives a DeLorean. That's just what it
Yeah.
is. Go away." But the only reason they've got Pepsi all the way through all of it is because Pepsi changed their logo between the date of the first movie and the date of the second movie.
Yeah.
And so it's a way to date times. It fits within the world.
They actually
that
fit the
makes
narrative.
perfect fucking sense.
But look, it's like Seth was saying, you can't get all these brands to not want you to destroy their shit.
No.
But there is a bunch of like things out there. There's one chick on I think it's Instagram or something Her entire thing is destroying the product every day as a marketing technique. And it's working very, very well for her. It's like, if you show that your product isn't infallible, or you're not afraid of showing it in a normal light, I'm more likely to pick that up. Like, I'm going to pay attention. If there was just a Coke bottle that I could explode and shoot in a game, I would probably go, you know what, I could feel like a Coke. But if you're showing me a bright, shiny thing and forcing it in my face, I'm going to go away from it.
The annoying thing is that if I saw a Coke bottle and I happened to shoot it, I'd just been like, oh, I shot a glass bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have gone, ah, fuck you, Coke.
Yeah.
No.
I'm shooting a thing because I want to see it explode. The little lizard brain wants explosion.
If some of these companies could get over it, maybe, and I am saying this with the full understanding that it'll slippery slope into something terrible.
Oh, definitely. Everything does.
But if you wanted to advertise in your games, that's about as close as I could get to acceptable.
Yeah.
Is you have some brands that have paid for you their logo to be the thing in your setting.
Yeah. Well, it's what movies.
The only soda that survived is Coke. I don't know why. Who gives a fucking shit?
Well, do you remember the old movie Demolition Man?
Absolutely,
Where
Demolition Man.
everything was,
Taco Bell.
everything was called Taco Bell, and I fucking love it because like that was their sponsor. It's
Because
like, after the collapse, everything was bought by Taco Bell. Now it's everything.
Yeah, they won the fast food war,
Yeah.
which is just a great way of writing it into the story.
Yeah, and it
that makes
works.
fucking sense.
Oh,
And that was the only hand wave you needed to justify it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like a 30-second, I think it was like 30-second explanation, and I bought that. I'm like, yeah, cool, that sounds
just,
about right.
Just a passing comment. Just That's all it needed to be. Just, oh yeah, this is why it's there. Okay,
And tell you
cool.
what-
I can buy that.
It worked because we still fucking remember it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
Like, it was well done. But I think the effort is out of that kind of stuff now. Because in that movie, they explode a Taco Bell. Taco Bell was like, yeah, fuck yeah, explode that shit. It's great. But you look at things like Coke, it's like, no. Or, no, not just Coke, but any brand now. It's just like, oh, no, you can't explode it. Then people will think it's bad. Like, I'm sorry, can your actual car, truck, or product sustain against a rocket launcher? No? Then sit back down.
Well, I think the thing that probably helped with the Demolition Man thing is that Taco Bell is basically well known for, one, being pretty fucking cheap,
Yeah.
and well, at least in the States. It's a little pricey here, although compared to some other fast food places, it's actually a pretty good deal.
Not bad.
It's your loose change student menu stuff.
Yeah.
And what's the associated thing that comes with eating Taco Bell? The taco shits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure Taco Bell was already in a like, look, man, no one has a lot of respect for Taco Bell other than we're your last option. So fucking blow it up.
The image can only go up, really. Like,
Which honestly, we need to find more of those kind of products.
that's why
to
they
put
have
into
the
games.
3 seashells, so you can scrape that shit off.
Oh, I love the fact someone actually put up a guide to how to use the 3 seashells. It's terrifying.
I mean, like, colloquially, a lot of people around Australia give really dumb names to fast food joints.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a particularly negative one for Macca's, because a lot of people just call it Mickey D's.
Pretty much.
But, like, Red Rooster is Red Rooter, and I know KFC's Upchuck Chicken.
Yeah.
Kentucky Fried Pigeon.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah?
But yeah.
So, you know, Australia doesn't give a fucking shit.
Yeah. We don't
We
care
eat
about
at
your
these
brand
places all the time, and we're like, shitty nickname.
Yeah. Like, we are more likely to buy something if we can make a shitty nickname out of it.
Yeah. Or shorten it and add an O to the end.
Yeah. But,
So, do we want to move on?
yes.
So, depending on your perspective, this is either good or bad. The Ghost of Tsushima has been automatically refunded to people who live in countries that cannot use PSN. Mostly, as far as I understand, off of the back of it being delisted in those places.
Yeah.
So, it's all just auto refund, back, you take your money.
I'm assuming
Okay.
that must be a decision from Steam because they don't want to deal with the backlash of another.
What? It couldn't be sold there anyway. They'd need a PSN account.
Yeah.
No, you don't need a PSN account to play
you don't. But
a
if you
single
do,
player.
But it's still a requirement to play the multiplayer, and they're not going to break the multiplayer off. That's still a large chunk of the game
Yeah.
that can't be played if it's purchased in those areas.
It's not a large chunk. It's actually quite a small chunk.
Well, it's still a chunk. It just
is,
means
which
that
is
the
why-
next, whatever games come out next, I think that's rumored to be God of War will be the next one. But
Yeah.
it just means that that game won't even be listed in those places. They
Probably, yeah.
They got they fucked themselves up with Helldivers. They realized that we're trying to sell this in places where we can't actually we'll get reamed if this game gets sold there and people can't access it. So they're trying to roll that back.
They're panicking,
Yeah.
yeah.
As
and I get
screwy
a
as it
feeling
is,
that this
instead
auto system is probably on Steam, basically just going, oh yeah, we're not getting opened up to that litigation. Fuck that.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, fucking oath. And I don't know, the game should never have been sold there in the first place, but why aren't PlayStation trying to make more make their service available in those countries so they can sell the shit there?
Because they're still stuck in the console age. They still want everything to go through their system, and they're not willing to open up
Look,
further.
the biggest problem you're running into, and probably about to sound like a giant asshole here, is that it's a Japanese company.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of Japanese companies, while they'll work outside of Japan, they consider Japan first.
Yeah.
So you might live in Azerbaijan, Sony doesn't care.
No.
They don't give a shit. It's like Square Enix as well. Like, same kind of thing.
Square's going through some interesting stuff right now, which
They are.
might end up being interesting. They've been doing a lot of small indie stuff and big projects and kind of things, and they've recently stated that they're going to use a lot of that information they've gathered over the past couple of years to essentially try and reinvigorate the company and move forward. A lot of people are suggesting that this is off of the back of Final Fantasy Rebirth not selling super well.
Yeah, who'd have thought, right?
That might be because you only put it on the console that no one fucking has.
Yeah. Or can even get access to half the time.
Yeah,
Well,
so that
it's a
might be a
console
big
that
part of it.
everyone wanted, but no one really had.
Yeah.
If
And
it
now that-
was the other way around, that everyone had it, but the demand wasn't there for the console, it probably would have done real fucking well.
Oh, yeah. Great.
I mean, the problem they're running into at this point is everyone who really wanted the PlayStation 5 couldn't get one, and now they've waited long enough, it's like, I don't care anymore.
Those
Yeah.
people went out and bought PCs, and now they have Game Pass.
Yeah.
Like,
Or the PlayStation games are coming to them, so I'll just wait it out.
yeah, more or less. Like, I'm happy to wait at this point. And I have
Especially
a PS5.
given that, I know we normally keep game stuff to the monthly game episode, but, I've just been playing Ghost of Tsushima today. That is a beautiful port.
God, I love that game.
Rock solid, looks great, frame rates unimpeachable. It's great. It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
It is
It's a
one thing
wonderful
I've been
port.
I haven't had one of the PlayStation ports turn up bad for me. I know other people have had issues with some of them. I haven't had one run badly for me. I've fucking loved them. I don't know what company's doing the port, if it isn't already the developer of the game, but
No,
they've
there's
all
two
been
that they
fucking great.
use. They either do them in house or they use two different companies, Bluepoint and the one who did Ghost. It's like Netis or something like that.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head. But Bluepoint has kind of a spotty track record with its ports. They've been kind of
Sometimes they phone it in. Like,
yeah.
if they don't think it's going to be a big enough release, it's we'll just hurry this one up and get on to something we want to do.
Yeah. So they've had some pretty trash launches. I wasn't super happy with the launch state of the first Horizon game when it came to PC,
Yeah.
but it did get fixed pretty quickly.
They patched it pretty quick, yeah.
But yeah, this one, great port. Absolutely amazing. Can't fault them on that one. At least after I don't know, I played it for about 5 hours today. So in those 5 hours, not a bit.
Yeah. Like, I'm grabbing that one again soon. I have it on PlayStation 5, but I would much rather have it on my PC so I have uncapped frame rate and I can just
Oh, that
Oh.
frame rate is the thing that's making me the most happy. When it does the big opening battle, where they go down onto the beach and there's no frame hitching.
Oh, yes, that'd be good.
Just before we started this, I went through the settings and just ran it all on max. It's like, oh my god, I so want this. I haven't even started the game yet, and I've Yeah.
My PC
Yeah,
might
hanging
melt
for
while
it.
we're doing the same. Just
Look, man, if mine can handle it, yours can, because yours is better than mine.
that is true.
You have newer parts in yours than I do.
That is fair.
I did the usual thing I did, where I optimized all the pieces so they do the things. You threw money at the problem.
I threw money at a friend, like, make it work and good. And she was like,
Yeah.
yes.
I really wish there was some way we could advertise that for her, because she's really fucking good in the Brisbane area, but,
Yeah.
you know, I ain't gonna call out someone who doesn't know about it, so.
We'll drag her on one day.
I really hope we could. But yeah, so that happened. Also, Steam got banned in Vietnam.
So what was the actual reason for that? Like,
Basically because of Steam's cut.
okay, that makes sense.
Steam won't drop the cut. Vietnam thinks they're exploiting their developers, so Vietnam banned Steam.
Alright,
That's it.
fair.
Vietnam banned Steam for what Epic's been arguing that Steam does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Steam's so big it doesn't care.
Look, I
Yeah.
hate Epic, but at the same time, they have a point.
At the same time, Steam hasn't changed its cut in a long time.
Yeah.
It just picked a number.
Pretty much. It picked a number and stuck with it. It hasn't been, at least it hasn't been like slowly creeping up year after year,
Yeah.
which is good.
I think they're 30% is their cut or
Yeah.
something like that. Because
Yeah.
I think Epic's is 25. And Epic wants them to come down, join us, lower the cuts. No. Why should we? We're the
Nah.
biggest platform for
It's
selling
like,
games
at that point,
around.
Steam just points at Epic's failing infrastructure. It's like, about that?
Yeah. Once you actually are a competitor, we'll think about it.
Let me leave a review on your. Oh.
So, coming back to a thing that I thought, like, we nipped back in the bud back when Shadows of War came out. The company developing Marvel Rivals, which is their new Marvel-themed version of Overwatch,
Ugh.
which by all accounts is apparently reasonably fun to play.
That I hadn't
They
even
slipped
heard of
into-
until this article.
I'd heard about it, I knew it was coming, and I knew that there was a beta coming, and that we might hear something about it. But apparently, they snuck into their agreement for anyone who joined the beta, you're not allowed to say anything negative about this game.
Which already has me sus on it. Like, why? Don't
Because they
send...
don't want negative publicity.
Like, I get that, but whatever happened to the old adage of no, like, publicity is bad publicity? If someone, yells about your game being shit, other people are still going to pick it up to see. Like, I watch horrible movies constantly to see how bad they are.
Oh, yeah.
The Suicide Squad game is.
Yeah.
There's bad publicity. Like,
That
holy
is,
shit, that
yeah.
got reamed. Like,
It really did. But it's just...
The point is, though, this came... Like, when it happened with Shadows of War, they got absolutely reamed over it.
Yeah.
How did no one learn... I mean, I keep saying this stuff, how did you not learn? But we have to keep teaching these old motherfuckers this same lesson every goddamn time it comes up again.
It's because there's geriatrics running the gaming industry, and they only care
Yes.
about profit.
Now you can have someone go, okay, so I'm going to disregard that, and I'm going to give you my opinion. It's positive.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or did you just say that to sound like you're on the side of the gamers,
Or-
but really you just said the...
or you're only saying
can't
something because you can't actually say what you want to say.
Yeah. We can't trust
Yeah.
anything coming out of the reviews for this now.
Yeah. Which is annoying because apparently, from less sketchy sources, it's not that bad.
Things like, they
It's
poisoned
not that
their
good,
own well.
but it's not that bad.
Like, they poisoned their own well, and now they're just sitting there going, why would someone do this? It's like, but you did this.
It's an absolute own goal for seemingly no reason.
Yeah. But, it's... There needs to be a shake-up of leadership in half these things. Like, or, in most cases, a shake-up of entire culture for those companies.
Yeah.
But that will never happen. Like, you'd have to clear out the entire board of directors to even have a hope of getting these kinds of things back on track.
And the only people who are going to get to those positions are people who are just going to do the same thing.
The only ones who really climb higher in those industries are the ones willing to step on other people to do it.
Or you have to break off and risk everything on every release you do.
Which, honestly, is kind of why I think we're seeing a lot better AA games popping up.
Yeah.
These people who've been shat on by the AAA studios, and let's be honest, they are not good places to work for the grunt and file. Those guys splinter off and they make new games and they do really well, and then along come these companies trying to buy them out again, just to shut them down.
It's exactly what's happened with Arcane and what's the other one? When they got shuttered, the head of the company said, "Right, well, fuck you, I'll make my own casino with blackjack and hookers."
Yeah.
And they've just fucked off to make their own studio.
Actually, we did get a little bit good news about the Arcane guys.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Do you guys know about a game called Judas?
Yes.
Sounds familiar, but I don't know anything about it.
For anyone who doesn't know, the original designer for BioShock left the company, started a new company, and is making a new game called Judas. It's very, very BioShock.
Yeah.
That studio extended a lot of job invitations to the ex-Arcane guys.
Ah, awesome.
I'm okay with this.
Which is not surprising after Dishonored. It's like, oh yeah, weapon in one hand, magic in the other, protagonist type of game. Yeah, you gotta fit really well over here.
Yeah, I was like, welcome
This
aboard,
jigsaw
sir.
fits.
What imagine it's like, I'd like to have a job, and someone's like, wait, you don't already work here? Jesus, man, get in here!
So yeah, I don't know how many people got picked up, but yeah, they extended a big hand to Arcane Austin to be like, come work for us.
I mean, to them, that would have been Christmas come early. It's like, these guys who know how to do the shit that we do already, please, come in. Like, throw the doors wide.
Yeah. It's not good, but it reminds me of when we finished uni back in 2008.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, all the studios in Queensland closed down, and now there's all these fucking experienced people taking my job.
Yeah. The good days.
And
But
you've got
it's
the choice of half brick or good luck.
Yeah.
Halfbrick, who was started by ex-pupils of our university who hated our university. So we were already at a disadvantage getting jobs there.
But yeah, that's a little bit of good news out of that whole studio closure thing. It's not good that it got closed, but at least they might have some softer falls.
Yeah. Like, I'm happy they've fallen towards more work as opposed to being completely fucked, which is what they could have been.
So, before we get on to the gloriousness that is Book Week, do we want to quickly do 2 last feel-good articles for the week?
I'd like to
Anything to
feel
feel
for
good.
once. Yeah.
So, Ahmed Beast, who was the voice of Jar Jar Binks, but also actually got to play a Jedi in Mandalorian, where he saves Grogu.
Yes.
He really wants to do essentially the Jedi version of John Wick, and I'm all for that.
Oh, I want it. Like,
I just want a cameo in that of like Jar Jar coming out and like fucking something like, Misa gonna fuck you up, and just cutting sick, or like
I don't. I literally
do.
fucking hate
I do.
all of the Jar Jar's competent stuff.
Yeah.
No,
No.
he's a joke character for the side. Don't try and make him
I
look
just
competent.
want to see him get killed off from his own incompetence. 'Cause
Oh,
he's got-
killed.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying Jar Jar cuts out and goes nuts.
oh, no, God, no. We
He
want to
comes
turn
out
him
there
into canned
and
food.
tries to, and then gets fucked up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, falls into a fucking
Just kill
cannery.
that
Let's
character.
go.
Yeah, it'd be great. Just get rid of it completely. On-screen death cannot be undone. But we, like, the lore, or the X-lore, Disney did rip everything out. But the extended universe used to have, essentially, Mace Windu was their version of John Wick. He was the Jedi boogeyman.
No, it was actually a different guy.
Was it?
And he actually still has a book that's currently canon.
Ooh.
The Jedi used to outsource to close to Jedi people.
Yeah.
So that if killing people resulted them tipping to the dark side, they could be like, they weren't one of us.
True. Because I remember Windu was meant to be... what was it? He studied the Sith to learn how to kill them, but was too close to really be trusted half the time. So...
I mean, his big thing was my Padawan seems to be figuring out my fighting style. They need to die.
Yeah. Yeah, Mace Windu was not a nice person.
Yeah, there's a book, I can't remember what it's called, it's gonna bug me now. It's where the current, well, now it's disputed, quote-unquote canon end for Asajj Ventress happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're these guys that are trained up as Jedi, but they're kept right on the edge of the Jedi Order, so they can use them for wet works.
Which is somewhat terrifying.
It's why Windows lightsaber says bad motherfucker.
Yeah. But
So,
I
you know,
would
the
love
idea
to.
of
I would love
the
to see
idea of a
Return of the Jedi.
Jedi John Wick is like, that's really fucking cool.
At some point, we do need to just discuss the weirdness that is the Star Wars like extended universe, because the Jedi were not nice. They were not always good.
I'm hearing a next week episode.
Yeah, yeah. There are some interesting comics out there which were terrifying.
And our last thing, and I know we're an audio podcast, so I'm going to tell you to go watch something because that's the best way to experience it. Go look up the Helldivers 2 Star Wars mod.
It's so fucking shiny. I want it.
It's so well done. Essentially, they turn all the Helldivers into major characters from the Clone Wars: Cody, Rex,
Yeah.
Hunter, and then they go fight the androids, and it's all battle droids. It's just like, this is so good.
Even if it is just for you playing it, it's worth. Like,
This is the Battlefront game that we wanted.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
it really is.
I'm still firmly in the camp that I'd much rather it be 40k themed,
Yeah,
because then you can do Necrons and Tyranids, but
Ah.
I don't care. Clone Wars is still good. I still love the idea of just seeing swaths of battle droids walking around and then nuking them. It's so good.
yeah, yeah.
I'm almost waiting for
Honestly-
them to do a Halo mod to it as well. An ODST drop.
There's already one for your main character to look like Chief.
Yeah. But we knew this was coming the second the mods started appearing. Like, we're going to get some
Yeah.
interesting shit. And I like that they're embracing it. It's like, yeah, you know what? Go ahead. This is just making our game
Well-
more popular.
Arrow hasn't had an official statement on it.
Yeah.
So, we don't know what Arrowhead's actual point on this, although if they're not sitting around their computers in their office laughing their asses off, like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I'm guaranteeing half
just-
them have that mod installed.
Just make an aesthetic mod kit. Like, have
Yeah.
your own armor and shit in the game, but let them put skins. Fuck.
Pretty
Yeah.
much. It'd be great.
Like-
I can almost guarantee, like, within the week, there's going to be waifu drops. There's going to
Oh,
be Jiggle
yes.
physics out the fucking wazoo.
Definitely.
Probably. Either way, it's a cool mod. Would highly suggest checking it out. YouTube it. Have a look. It's a lot of fun.
Nice.
Right, now. Book time.
Book week!
Last month we read on, I believe it was John Doe's recommendation, Live Free or Die.
Yes, the Troy series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I've only read book one. Apparently, the friend of ours offered that recommendation, ended up reading the whole series, and apparently it's not bad.
No.
But he still only read book one. But damn, that was a good book.
It was so
Yeah.
much fun. I
I love that the inciting event of the book is a maple war.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's maple syrup, or was it they call it dragon tears in the first
Yeah.
time they
Oh, that's
tried
just
it.
a fanciful
Yeah.
name. Apparently, it's just like this super addictive,
Yeah.
like drink
It's
to aliens.
also one of the few
But-
things that they're able to actually have from our world.
Metabolize from
Yeah.
Earth. Yeah.
Yeah,
I guess them like just super drunk.
Yeah. It's super alcohol. But that and just the scale that it goes from that and just the progressive ramp up to the Troy station. It's like,
Yeah.
that's no moon.
I really enjoyed the like just everything about the time skipping, because lit RPGs and all that kind of stuff for progression, they always stick very close to a time frame. But there's a few that I've read which jump around time wise, and they work really well. Like when it's like, oh, it's been like X amount of years, I've done these things now. It's like, neat. I didn't have to see
God.
you set all that up. This is great.
can they hurry up and put out the second book of Demon Tree instead of moving the fucking release date every time?
Yeah, I'm very disappointed that got moved.
It's moved 3 times now. It's
Yeah.
supposed to come out at the end of this month, and I have zero faith that it will.
I'm expecting to get pushed out again, but I want that fucking book.
Especially because they're already selling the pre-order for book 3.
Yeah. But Live Free or Die is a wonderfully fun and interesting
Yeah.
idea. The entire point of, like, was it the array they build? Like, the
Yeah,
mirror
the sapple.
array?
The solar
Sapple?
array, yeah.
Ah, it's interesting. And it goes into, like, a lot of the science, and apparently a lot of it is actually pretty correct.
Yeah, with the way, like, they spin the asteroids and
Yeah.
stuff and what passes out.
So, like, they start mining the asteroid belt using the lasers, and
Yeah.
then they start, it's like, oh, we're going to do with all this metal we've collected, the slag. It's like, spin it, make it into a big-ass space station. It's like, yes.
Yeah. And it's just small enough to fit through the gate.
Yeah.
just small enough. It's
Yeah.
and then wasn't they park it directly in front? It's like, yeah,
Over the top of
over
it,
the
so
top
anything
of it.
coming out would get shelled.
bombarded. And I like that it just came out of nowhere as well. Like the start of it is over what, like 15 or something years or 10 years, where it's
Like the aliens show up, they subjugate us,
yeah.
and then it's just some dude just trying to get by, and he's like, "Hey man, I can bring you a bunch of shit. You want to
And
check
just-
it out?
just see
Maybe
what works."
one of them will be interesting."
The fact that the guy was like, he worked at a few tech firms and that kind of thing, but his big claim to fame was the fact he wrote a sci-fi
Comic.
Yeah,
web
a book
comic
Trade
series.
hard.
called Trade Hard, which was just a free trader, and he meets an alien at a convention when he's trying to make money after like selling firewood and working 5 jobs, and
Yeah.
just lucks out. But even better is the fact that that first chapter that you're dealing with him and that really shitty old woman he has to deal with for
Yeah.
firewood, who runs a maple farm, like a maple syrup place. And when he gets the money behind him to actually buy as much of the land possible to make this stuff and funnel it into industry, he's like, you know what? Everyone else pay really well, pay above market, do them proper, except for this chick. Fucking
Yeah,
screw that
her
chick.
first.
Yeah. I want her to feel it when everyone else
Yeah.
gets what they want. And she got nothing.
The-
I was like, I love that. That's amazing.
Perfect revenge.
Yeah.
The sheer comedy of like when the military's trying to take over the maple trees and they're trying to tap it, and just how like
yes.
no one wants to do the job correctly, and the ones that do it correctly, it's like, okay, so we're doing this. It's a real dark night. Yes, it is. Like, and just you can hear the voices in the trees. It's like we could pull a night vision on. I wouldn't do that. We don't have night vision tonight. We're just
Yeah,
let's keep
no,
moving.
it's just
we
not
didn't see
working.
anything here. Like, everything about it it cracked me up while I was on a train full of
Oh.
people. I was giggling all the way to work. It was great.
I enjoyed it a lot.
It has a wonderful ability to present arguably heavy topics
Yeah.
in such an entertaining way that I didn't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just the idea that whilst we were subjugated by a single warship, it's just the whole thing of the other species we're trading with. Like, you ain't going to touch that because you're not worth saving currently.
I love the whole thing that gets their foot in the door galactic-wise is him basically going, all right, fuck you. I'll burn up all of the maple trees if you attack us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the other group of aliens who are stronger than the one subjugating Earth show up and go, hey, you're not doing that. We need that maple syrup, bro.
We
Yeah.
want that. You can't. You can't do that no more. Like, okay. And just the fact that we're like watching humans slowly get access to space tech, but through a non-military faction. It's a
I
purely
love
commercial.
his interaction with the military.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
like basically black.
Oh,
back
hey,
at one
military, I want you to make me a shuttle. Just a shuttle, something from Earth that we made that can go from Earth to space.
Yeah.
That's it. Shows up to see the first demo of the ship they've made. That's a fighter jet. That's not what we agreed to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, I got first rights to name it, and you already named it something fucking stupid, didn't you?
Starkiller?
Or Starfire. You named it something stupid.
Yeah, I love the fact because it was Boeing or something because they were a military
Yeah.
contractor, and it's like, all right, how much did the military kick in? Like, a bit. It's like, was it more than me? No. Then why didn't you just make the shuttle that I paid you for? I mean, yes, it does come back to be a good thing because they need a fighter at one point later.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fucking lucky good
Yeah.
thing.
It's a lucky
Yeah,
thing.
but they also point out that that thing's held together with hopes and dreams.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
There's a bit where they're pointing out that like the fusion glue that they use to stick all the aircraft components together won't set in time, so they just fucking rivet gun the
Yeah.
whole fucking thing together.
yeah. It is a really entertaining like read or listen. Like the world
Absolutely.
they've built is entertaining, and I'm kind of keen to pick up the other 3 books.
Yeah, I actually do want to read the rest
just
of
to
it.
see
And
where
like
it
I said, one of our common contributors, Craig, has read the rest of it and has given it a somewhat positive review. He doesn't want to talk too much about it, so we can experience it ourselves.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I think-
apparently it's a pretty good series.
yeah. I think the only issue he raised about was the fact that it's very American centric, which is
Oh, yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
We knew that was going to happen. But
I mean, that was one of the only things I disliked about the guy in the book. He's very kind of nationalistic.
Yeah.
It gets a little off-putting in places where he gets a little like, you're starting to feel, and I know I'm about to lose the argument here, kind of Nazi.
Yeah, he gets
Yeah.
a bit weird
Well,
there.
Though when you like, I'm not disagreeing with you, but like even going through like the Horvath, the villains, and it's like they release a virus that's very much a eugenics virus that
Yeah.
if they don't match this exact description, you're dead.
Which was
Also, I haven't read the rest of the book, and I still am not sure that was, because the final thing was, if you don't have blonde hair, you die. It's like, this is getting a little Aryan.
No, that's the thing.
Oh, yeah.
They do mention that the Horvath, I assume they're lizard people because it's never actually explained, but they're dealing primarily with Russia, Germany, and those kind of countries, which is why it's theorized that's where it came from, because they were just sneaking in with it.
And if you like, he actually goes through as like, if you look at the people that are praising them, what they're doing, they're all blonde-haired, blue-eyed, and then
Yeah.
you look at a picture of him, which is short, dark hair, balding,
Yeah.
and they're a lot of the primary targets of the virus that's released. So it's like, did I single-handedly doom the entire human race? Like, pull your fucking head in. No.
Yeah. The fact that someone actually tells him to pull his head in for it,
Yeah.
I
love that.
love it. It's great. But it also covers things that you wouldn't expect to pop up because your brain doesn't quite go there. The fact that after that virus is meant to hit, a side effect is that all women who are blonde go into heat.
Yeah, so it's it was specifically to like
Rebuild
the
the
thought was
population.
behind the virus was to boost the population back up again, which
Yeah.
is a thought like not something you'd really think about it. If you wanted to control it, why not reduce it to a number you can control and then have every future generations already under that control?
Yeah.
Although, one of the things he brings up that's, like, it's a really uncomfortable topic, specifically on a stuff like that, is how he points out that, like, we're a little bit better off after it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because it targeted negative qualities to start with. Like, the first one was, like, it's really easy to take care of, like, a worm or something that gets into your
yeah,
skin.
a parasite
But, like,
that sits on the outside.
Yeah.
any cleaning detergent will kill it.
Yeah. As long as you wash
So-
your hands and like clean yourself, you're fine.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
And then after that, it starts eating away at more negative things. Like, there's no one anymore with a peanut allergy.
Yeah. It gets rid of
And-
the ones that the Horvath's considered weaker or
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the humanity after this whole event is technically stronger, and they acknowledge that's a thing.
Yeah.
They do
Yeah,
quite
it's-
rightly point out that it's bad. Don't do
Yeah.
that.
like
But I mean,
I think it's like a good quarter of Earth's population is wiped out or something. It's not good. Like they skim over it. In
it's
the
bad.
It's
It's really bad.
yeah, but it
But
They at
Yeah,
least
we
acknowledge
acknowledge
that it's a
Yeah.
horrible genocide and it shouldn't have happened.
yeah. But even with those topics, it still comes across well. It's done relatively well.
Yeah,
Yes.
Like I like how the topics were bridged and like talked about. I really enjoyed this book, and I am definitely picking up those other ones.
Yeah. Same.
Like fucking
So I
good.
think that's a wholehearted recommendation for that from everybody here.
Yeah, good
Yeah.
shout on that one, John Doe. That was a good one.
yeah, that'll
Yeah,
work.
good
It was actually
choice.
one of the first audiobooks I listened to after Bobbyverse. So,
Both good series.
all right.
So
Next
it's-
up is Seth.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm returning to our lit RPG roots.
Oh,
Gotta go back.
mad
to
if we
Faithful.
don't. Shit,
Yeah.
we've had too long without one.
Look, if
I
you
know,
didn't,
right?
I would. We know this.
Two military
So-
sci-fi. Shit.
Generally, we do a lot of books that are a lot of progression style stuff and people rising to godly powers. I'm like, no, let's calm it down. Let's do a lit RPG, but that's a little more arguably should be. I've never read it. More of a fun book.
Yeah.
So the one we're going to be reading is Adventure Brewing, which is the first book in the Beers and Beards series. And here's your plot summary. Shopcraft, brewing skills, charisma. It'll take that and more to build the tavern of his dreams. Peter's a simple man who enjoys a good drink amongst good friends. Not too much to ask, right? Now he's trapped in a fantasy world far from home, stuck underground and inside the body of a smelly dwarf with fantastic facial hair. The worst part? The swill these dwarves drink is falling all over themselves to drink. It's flat, it's watery, and its alcohol content of a rancid coconut. Can Pete save the dwarves from their own sour fate? Or will he be ever doomed to plink his pickaxe away in the hopes of hitting the mother lode? All he wants to do is bring new and better beers to the world, but unfortunately altering dwarven beer is frowned upon, so he has a lot to prove.
I'm keen for this. This has been sitting on my wish list for a while.
This is just a book version of Deep Rock Galactic.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Fantasy version of Deep Rock Galactic. I love it. But I'm keen for this. It sounds stupid and fun and a bit like slice of lifey, which would be good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although I will admit, like, when I was reading the bits of this, there's another one I'm gonna have to check out just off the title alone. And it's called Baking Bad.
I like this already.
And I'm like, is someone making blue bread somewhere? Like, what's the deal? What's this book?
I really hope it's Blue Bread. That'd be amazing.
But we're doing an adventure in brewing first, and we think that one should be at least interesting. It sounds fun. But yeah, that's going to be our next month's book.
Looking forward to it.
So we're out past an hour, so I think we'll wrap things up for this week. Y'all have a good one.
Bye.
See ya.